Good morning. Good morning, Astrobate. How are you today? Welcome. Welcome, grifters, to our non-commercial chess site. All right. What's up? Excellent is never an accident. Let's just leave it at that. Nothing is an accident. Everything sucks. Oh man, what's up? Nobody gets me. So, Astrobate, I have a new interesting training methodology. It's not very deep, but it's effective. You guys know how the last week I've been talking about the level of aggression from some opponents in chess and poker, how it can be like really over the top. And I think thinking about the opponent and their style and such led me to thinking about how some players are so aggressive, but they lack like a kind of defensive or, let's say, prophylactic side of their game. We both, I mean, you and me, you listeners, I know there's two of you out there, and me, the player who's streaming. As chess players, we need to better ourselves if we want to succeed at chess. And I was thinking, how can we, improve ourselves? How can those aggressive players become more balanced? And how can I improve myself? So watch this. Like if we play Viking Beer, here Viking Beer is challenging me. Welcome, Juicebox Blizzard. Let's take the challenge for Viking Beer. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the board. And you should all try this at home when you play. I'm going to play from Viking Beer's side. By doing this, okay, I get unbelievable insight. I can get unbelievable insight into what my opponent is going to do and how he's going to play. As far as I know, no one else does this. It's obviously not something you could do over the board, but it's equivalent to being at a over the board tournament and playing on the stage and having a demo board. You can see from the opponent's side, from the opponent's perspective. So I'm going to play my game from my opponent's perspective. Imagine how beneficial this can be if we practice playing from the opponent's perspective. It's brilliant, I mean, of course, I created this idea, but I've already been using it. It's very, very not only fun but incredibly helpful. By playing this way, I get so much more insight into what my opponent's threats are, what he's trying to do, what I would try to do if I were him. And it's going to confuse the viewers, but it's already I felt very, very beneficial in just doing it 10 or 20 games. I've done it 20 games so far. You can look down and see, what is the opponent trying to do? Because I'm the opponent now, essentially. This has totally changed the way I'm looking at the game, by the way. If you have any lack of defensive skills, or you're too one-dimensional and just attacking, learn to look at the opponents from the opponent's perspective. That's what I'm saying. Some of us need to work on this more than others, obviously. This is weird. This d5 right away. Maybe I'm supposed to play d5. Calculated chess. We're going to see how many people we can confuse today. But I think it gives you, this is the way to improve yourself, like defensively, prophylactically thinking. Very easy to implement. It takes some getting used to, and I have to say, like, my speed of play and my calculation when playing from the other side has gone down, and my offensive play is not as good. Next week we're gonna try like playing with the board sideways. No, I'm just kidding. I've always been a terrible analyst, by the way. With the board from the side perspective of boards, when I'm playing in a tournament and we have analysis or something, I'm absolutely horrible in seeing things from the side. Now black has no counterplay against my powerful pawn on d4, so he's in trouble here. Big trouble. Simple and natural. White has space advantage, powerful pawn on d4. At least he didn't do anything crazy like castling queenside. Try this at home. It's definitely like the best thing I've done in a long time. It's not only incredibly fun, but I'm seeing much better what my opponent's trying to do. Morning. Ashby, do you like when you sit in the bus? Do you like to sit like facing where you're going, or I don't like it when the train or bus is like going backward for me, This queen h5 is classic piece outside the pawn chain. If you want to improve yourself defensively, I mean, this is the thing to do. I'm a pretty good defensive player. I don't really need to do this, but I'm doing this, to hone my prophylactic skills, but also, and perhaps more importantly, teach you guys a useful trick. Reverse chess. Aspirate, have you ever played a chess game against yourself? When I was a kid and we would go on vacation and I had no one to play with, that was like a classic. I would play games against myself. Ah, 95. But I have this. You try anything fancy. So bishop g3. Bishop g3, f5. It's an everything must go sale. If you try that shit, to trap my bishop with f5, f4, you're gonna get impaled on the e file. Well, anyway, I feel like anybody who's been bored and that plays chess has attempted to play against themselves. And when you play against yourself, there's always this kind of like unavoidable conclusion that like you're gonna favor one side or the other. It's like the cult that plays against me in the simul. I feel like one account that they use, they end up favoring over the others. Okay, b5. Now, I mean, okay, he has no counterplay against my d4 pawn, and now he's weakening his queen side. I'm looking at black's position. I'm looking at quote-unquote my position. I'm not black, but I'm looking from black's side. I'm like, I don't like my position. If I was him, I'd be like, damn, I don't really like this position. That's what I'm thinking right now. I don't really see where to put my knight, though. Knight e5 allows exchange of pieces, which I'm not that thrilled with. Although maybe I don't have a choice. I mean, knight e3 allows... well, knight e3 just leaves my knight on a square where I just don't see it's... I don't see where it's going from e3. I could have gone to d2 back. Oh, it's my turn. That's the problem. Sometimes I forget it's my turn. Alright. Now, if he gets in c5, he's going to be close to equalizing. I mean, so we have options here. I feel like allowing the trade of queens gets black a little closer to surviving. What I gain in defensive perspective, I lose in my attacking. I lose a lot off my attacking play by looking at the board from the other side. I think if I were white and looking at it from the normal perspective, I could have found a more aggressive way to play. Here he'd like to play c5, but he loses his b5 pawn, so he can't. And now we've got the lever on the queen side with a4 at some point. That's not enough. Not enough. White is slightly better. Clearly better. You know what I was thinking, though, right? Do you know what I was thinking? What about like high level, quote unquote, tournaments where, I don't know, Magnus or whoever top players are playing online, these so-called like hybrid, like whatever, like there we go. Loss of e5 square permanently. What I'm saying is so in over the board chess, you can't reach out and like turn the board around. Like, what would people do? Imagine that. Can you guys just imagine for a minute, like, what would happen if you're playing in a tournament, in a live over the board tournament, and you just like you went totally nuts, and like while your opponent is like sitting there on your turn, hopefully, you like turn the board around. Like, what would they do? Like, it would be funny to see what would happen. You would get like penalized by the arbiter for disturbing the board or something, and probably penalized in terms of time penalty. What I'm saying is, in over-the-board chess, it's illegal to turn the board around. But you can, like, I saw this happen last month. I swear to God. I was at a tournament. There was this Indian player and then a Hungarian player. And the Indian guy, like, he was, like, standing up, going behind his opponent, and looking at the board from behind his opponent's back. And the Hungarian guy, like, complained to the arbiter. And the arbiter was just like, dude, I mean, I just saw this happening. Nothing I can do, you know. You can say it's bothering you or something, but he's not really disturbing you. He's just, like, looking at the board from behind you. It's not against the rules. So you can stand up and go behind your opponent as long as you don't physically bother them. It's not against the rules. But still, it's very hard to do that. You know, it's impractical. But my question is this. Do any, have any good players ever really gone out of their way to try this in online chess, to try using this kind of strategy? Because it's a huge advantage. You know, you can defensively see from the opponent's perspective. G-Spox Wizard, you're playing a lot like an opponent I had yesterday. Reminding me of this guy I played yesterday in an offhand game. G-Spox Wizard, aka Viking Beer, is quick. Quick. He's also totally reckless with his pawn structure. He has weaknesses all across the board. And that's basically my only advantage, but it's a lasting and serious one. If I look at White's position now, this guy has one dimension and it's like forward. And I was talking about this, and this is why I brought this thing up, by the way. Just saying. For those of you about to rock. No, the whole reason why I thought of this was because so lately I've been facing all these people who are like overly aggressive. It's like a disease. Poker and chess. Viking Beer, I feel he's kind of like, he's the Terminator where his like legs got cut off and all of his outside is stripped off, and he's like grinding on the ground, like still coming at me. You know, he goes forward no matter what. If you could draw like an analogy, it would be like late stage Terminator, where it just keeps coming at you. There's no like, you know, prophylaxis or anything like that, non-existent here. This really is a major moment. I like h5 a lot, though, because that pawn, you know, could come down and menace me. This is so similar to a game I played yesterday. It's really interesting. That was more like a Dutch position, similar. My opponent was surprisingly resourceful. But same thing, two bishops. Black was grabbing space on like the flanks while I controlled the center. I had a better structure. Oof. Still no decisive shot here. Not dead yet. I've got to show you guys something funny though. What's up? We're playing normal openings. I'm playing on Viking Beer's account, Morales, He's playing on mine. We switched account passwords and stuff. He had to play rook f8 there. But if you don't know how to play, I'm saying this is a very good, if you don't know how to play defensively, like this is a really, really good training tool. And the best part is it's free. I want to get a little blog mocking in after this game. That's something I got to show you guys. Look at this. Before we go back to this game, the 2023 lichess meetup in Barcelona. I just want to say that why doesn't someone take responsibility for these blogs? You know what I mean? Like, it says lichess, but I mean, seriously, who wrote this? And why don't they want to like take responsibility for it? It's like an in-depth article about lichess. Notice this, lichess, but it's lichess. Like, no one takes responsibility for being the author of this. So it's like lichess itself wrote it, and I was fine with it until I saw this. Are you guys ready for this? Lichess meetup in Barcelona. Blah 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 blah. In Barcelona, blah 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 blah. All right, now then there's this part. I don't know where to begin. I want to write this in. Copy. How do I copy and paste it? Can someone copy and paste this? Although Magnus Carlsen didn't show up like he did in Oslo 2018, we were no less blessed by the presence of IM Greg Shahade and WGM Jennifer Shahade for various parts of the weekend. Several other title players also attended the event in the park, but we think Greg maintained positive records against all challengers. We were blessed. Blessed by grifters. I think, I really have trouble understanding that this is not a chess.com like meetup or something. Are you serious? What is up with that? Like seriously, why are these like grifters there for a lichess meetup in Barcelona? Like, I'm serious. I don't understand. It's just a coincidence. They're like the most like self-promoting, especially Jennifer, the most self-promoting chess players I know. Why would they be connected to lichess in some way? This is my question. I don't understand. I really don't understand that, but that's not a good sign, Next thing, like, lichess will be getting sued by Jennifer Shahade for sexual harassment or something. It's just really, really creepy. Oh, there's that guy again with the level up your end games. Oh man. Beating superior opponents. He has the best blog of all time. I don't understand how this guy's an IM. He was an FM and he just like gets the IM title. Notice FIDE no longer even like, do you know that FIDE no longer even like puts on the ratings website, like they used to put like a link to the norms you made. I checked this guy's like title and there's nothing, it's just like you title awarded in January 2023. No longer can you even like see how someone made a norm or something on the FIDE website. It's really weird. I was thinking like soon FIDE will like take away like the entire requirement of norms for IM. They should just like give IM to everyone who reaches 2400 FIDE, right? Why even have norms? Let's make it like FM. Feels good to vent. Alright, Juicebox Wizard, what did you say? How's that even possible? Peter says I made 0 mistakes and 0 blunders. Well, I mean, surely you did at the very end. Did you not resign? In like, weren't you losing a piece? Or something at the very end? Where did my challenges go? You know, so I don't think we're blessed by the presence of Jennifer Shahade. I think that's the whole problem, you know. She's not a celebrity. Jesus Christ. She just pretends to be a celebrity. Secondly, you know, it's the same as Susan Polar. But, yeah, Greg isn't as bad. I don't mind him as much. You know, he doesn't over-promote himself as bad. But he's done a lot of stupid stuff, you know, promoting fast chess. He's kind of a grifter, too. I just think they're bad for chess. Morales, what's up? Good for themselves and bad for chess. They did us the honor of coming. It's almost Magnus Carlsen. I mean, it's Jennifer Shahade, right? Why not, like, Botez sisters? Jesus Christ, we were blessed by the presence of the Botez sisters at a lichess meetup. Morales is here. Alright, dude. Good game. Did I make Z mode? I didn't mean to do that. I'm first. Jesus Christ. I meant to press the F key. Blessed from the presence of the Botez sisters. But I, you know, the thing that bothers me is like no one has the courage to take credit for that wonderful blog post. They put it anonymously under lichess. What does that mean? Like who wrote that, you know? I hate when people write articles and they don't put like an author on it. Who feels they were blessed by the presence of Jennifer Shahade and Greg? That's just an odd thing to say, man. Right up there with Magnus Carlsen. What could they possibly have to do with lichess, which is their polar opposite? You know, all they care about is like promoting and making money. And lichess is about like a free site, so and they're really connected to chess.com, and I just think it's weird. I just think it's super, 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 super weird. Of all the people in the world, scammers should stay away from this site. Al-Qaeda writes really interesting blogs too. I bet they also don't take credit. They also don't like name particular authors of their blogs. All right. That's nice that you know that, but I don't want to, you know, really comment on Muslim terrorist groups today. So, next move. Okay. Let's play quiet. Let's play quietly. Nom de plume. Like, seriously, lichess person, admin, whatever you are, take credit for your belief that Jennifer Shahade is, you're blessed to be in her presence or something. Jesus Christ. Did you notice, by the way, did you guys notice that picture? Because I'm not sure, but from what I saw, there was like one woman maybe in the middle of the picture. The lichess meetup. I thought it was, seriously, I thought it was like a picture from the Muslim Brotherhood. Speaking of which, I mean, I checked my Twitch I checked my Twitch, not Twitch, YouTube, my YouTube analytics, and YouTube claims that like 100% of my viewers are male. Well, I think that women don't want to like get trolled or stalked online, so they probably don't go out of the way to like reveal the fact that they're female. But nevertheless, like if you're going to post a picture, if you're going to have like a meetup, you might want to have some mix of male and female and even transgender people or something. But the picture from Barcelona is like, it looks like the US like Senate or something. Like a bunch of like 22 men and one woman somewhere hidden in the middle. Morales is just catching up. I'm just saying, if you're going to go out of your way to feel blessed by Jennifer Shoddy, maybe, you ought to get more women involved. Chess has this problem, though. Chess is just it's still way too male dominated. I don't mind that people like Susan Polgar and Jennifer Shoddy are quote unquote promoting chess for women. But the bottom line is that they're promoting themselves mostly, and the same with the Botez sisters. At the end of the day, they're not there to promote chess for women. They're there to promote themselves. And, promote women while they're doing it. But chess has a problem with not enough. There's no reason why I should have... I'm not sexist. There's no reason why I should have no female viewers. I think online chess... Well, chess in general is too male dominated. It's not like I'm like Andrew Tate or something. I'm pretty neutral. My viewers shouldn't necessarily be female or male. Yet, not enough women are playing at the lichess meetup. Damn, dude, it's just constantly my turn. That's the problem. One problem I have is that I tend to not notice it's my turn. Is this the exact same position we had? Where you pulled a Frank Marshall, Morales? You gave up your bishop on e5? I just state the problems. I have no solutions. Look, man, do whatever you want. Give up your best piece for a knight. I'm certain I would play better from your perspective that game. Like 100%. So how did it go? I remember like analyzing that game with the computer, by the way. I think I made a mistake already. Like, I should probably play knight e2 here. It's been a while since I looked at that. Maybe not. I need more time. This is a very strategic closed position. I need more time. That game you played against me, you were worse. Like, I don't know if you looked at it with the engine, but I was better. Like, I was totally better to a point, and then it just went all downhill. The opening was better for me. It wasn't like, oh, I was worse straight out of the gate and you crushed me. I was better and then you crushed me. And then, it was interesting how it happened. Exactly what went wrong for me in that game. I've been getting, I don't know why, I get like all kinds of like Dutch stone walls. Everybody's playing like the Dutch stone wall against me every game. Morales remembers the number, the evaluation number off the top of his head, or he's just estimating. Dude, this is the most instructive thing you can do. Play from your opponent's perspective. It's so useful. It's taking my offense down, but it's improving me defensively. But I think that there's a certain element of players that really need this. I'm not really one of them. But even for me, it helps to be able to see what the opponent's doing. Queen A5. That's essentially a double attack. The essential double attack. Jesus. Wow. This is probably a bad move because it makes my c-pawn backward on a half open file. I noticed that at the initial stages of chess streaming, a lot of commentaries couldn't give accurate positions, and we had them using bits for a long time. Well, what? Okay, I was like, bots. You mean like engines? No. Mostly women. Years back. It's an easy position to play. Of course he has more time than me. No, we switched accounts B-Jack. This is an experiment. I switched accounts with Morales. He's playing under Sparkle Horse, and I'm playing under Morales. Oh my god. What? It's unbelievable. Goat's ears. How many goat's ears is that? How many years in goat years? No, I'm serious. Goat years. How long do goats live anyway? Can they live to like 20 or something? Or even more? How do you say for goat in Serbo-Croatian? Koza. It's what is Hungarian is kecske, so it's not close. How does this work again? Bishop takes a6. It's kind of greedy, isn't it? I think I'd rather not. I'm just trying to worm my way on the dark square somehow. I have a bad feeling about this now. He's unstoppable. So this queen a5 move, it's like a French. At the opening, he did it again. I don't understand why this keeps happening to me. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Oh my god. What? What's that about? My turn. What did you do? I keep thinking it's like your turn when it's my turn. It gets really hard in time pressure to play with the board reversed. All right. That was fun, right? Who won? Everyone saw Bishop F6 except for you. I mean, I wouldn't really call it a trick. You know, I mean, it's pretty clear that you're attacking the white squares, I'm attacking the dark squares. Not a trick, like, per se, but your real problem here is not coming up with a concrete attack against G2 or just taking the draw. You know, you can probably force draw repetition. You should probably take a draw at some point there when you're like checking me and I'm moving my king back and forth. Shouldn't we? I mean, at some point I'm allowed to be equal. There was a very brief period here when it's a draw. No. Oh, now it's a draw. Now it's a draw. Yeah, you had one moment when it was a draw. Holy shit. Like right here. Exactly. Check. King H2, Rook E8. Apparently is equal. No, there wasn't an easy moment. You were always better. When you were done being worse, you were better. Holy shit. Yeah, again, you're like, the engine thinks you're clearly worse. You're just tricky and fast. So this has been played in lichess games, but never in like live. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe this shit, you know. I don't believe in this shit. But it was played by, would Ivanchuk play Bishop takes e5, boys and girls? He lost. Ivanchuk did not play Bishop takes e5. Just saying. He still lost, though. It's funny, the computer wants to play 94, and it's almost a novelty. Wow. But 94 makes sense. Trade pieces, free your position a little. You can play 97. There's nothing wrong with 94. Knight on BD7 is the main move, and then F4. See, the thing is, I don't remember our last game how exactly the move order was. You know, I don't remember if you played 97 first. Well, I mean, it's different if you do it this way, because now I can take with the F pawn. Isn't that what happened in our first game? But I'm curious, how did I let this, how did I become worse? So F4 the computer likes better. I mean, how can I be worse? So Queen A5 is like the engine move. I mean, B6 is very natural as well. And I played C takes D. You took, and I played F4, and this is okay. You're like, what did I miss? Is it a trick? All right. No trick. So you should just take back. And another thing you can do is just take back straight away too. Computer doesn't like this as much. Oh, I have C4. Okay. So you need to do this. You need to do. And now you take back. And now you're up a pawn. You're up a pawn, and I have compensation for said pawn, but it's nothing special. All right, Mule Skinner. No, I'm using this as, guys, I can stay for another hour. I'm using this as a, I told you Marshall did that in the match with Rubinstein, Antonio Morales, and it's revolting positionally, but it would work. It works out if you can trade off my good bishop or something. Notice that Ivanchuk lost anyway without playing bishop takes c5. So Mule Skinner is logged into my account. Is it Weird Wednesday? It can be if you want to. Alright, Mule Skinner playing the English here. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 5. No, I'm playing the... What color am I again? Yeah, Morales, that was fun, right? That was fun. But there's no way you should lose there. You have more time. And there's only one way you can lose, is if the dark squares go. But you should have seen that. But I'm not interested in the result as much as trying to understand that line is weird. I would think it would be easy to play white, when you give up your good bishop like that, but it's not. It's not that bad. No, Wednesday on Thursday. Thursday is our subscriber stream. I'm playing reverse chess today. Come on, this is good training. Tomorrow night is just subscriber stream. Goats, I converted the full point for you. Yeah, conversion is really stretching it. It's more like you committed suicide. Yeah. Bishop f4, knight f6, e3, bishop f5. Blah, 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 blah. What is that? What is that? Bijak, I thought you already sent me something for tomorrow. I get your messages, dude. Bijak, I get your messages. I got the last one. You asked me, do I get your messages? Maybe you don't get my messages or something. Did you not see that I responded? I was like, yeah, I get them. Maybe you don't see the messages incoming from people back to you or something. Are you chat banned? Yeah, if you send me on lichess, I'm getting them. I mean, with you, I know to like check. I know to check anyway. Yeah, so it's just a closed Sicilian. But I mean, dude, I get so many insights into my opponent's play when I play like this backwards. It's unbelievable. You guys gotta try this. I mean, it's hard to play as well when you're looking at the board backwards, but you're getting so much more insight into your opponent. I'm like being Mule Skinner here, you know, while playing white. It's such an advantage. It's like I can see both sides of the board at the same time. Like I told you guys, I've played a few times, obviously, in big tournaments where I was on the stage area where there's like demo boards or whatever. And it's such an advantage to be able to see the board from both perspectives. I mean, let me put it this way, if Morales had been doing this while playing the last game with me, he never would have gotten mated by like bishop f6. You know, he'd be sitting there like, oh my god, he has bishop f6. You know, imagine if Morales was doing it for that game. You know, he would not have gotten mated the way he did. I would see, because I'm seeing more moves for the opponent. I'm seeing what the opponent's trying to do. This is fun, man. I have another version of chess I can show you guys after this. We'll have some fun today. Another training tool I'll share with you. Stockfish. Oh, it's my turn. See, I keep doing that. Damn it. How long has it been my turn? Like half an hour? I just sat for like a minute. I'm sorry. Nika7 is watching. Digia. Schumacher, Snedsteg. Thanks for subscribing, Bijak. Guys, we're $103.23 away from our donation goal. World Senior, 2 weeks from, it starts 2 weeks from, I mean, I'm leaving 2 weeks from yesterday. It starts 2 weeks from today. Terracini, Sicilia. Flying out a week from yesterday, 2 weeks from yesterday, sorry. I hope there's no earthquakes. No earthquakes in Sicily, right, Morales? Just in like central Italy or something? There's been a whole bunch of tremors in like central Italy. I don't want to like go to Sicily and have there be like a volcanic eruption or something. That would be just my luck. The first time I ever go to like Sicily, and not much in the Palermo area, okay. I mean, I imagine like there's freaking volcanic activity. It's like an island chain, and that's how these islands are formed. There's probably some kind of it's just been a few million years since the last volcanic eruption in Sicily. Mount Palermo. I don't know that much about the geography. I know nothing. You're gonna play today over the board the whole afternoon? What, you got rapid? Swedish chess. Rapid tournament. Or blitz. Oh, that's where Mount Etna is? Wait, where is Mount Etna? Is it in the mainland Italy or in Sicily? See, we don't learn enough in Western geography about this stuff. Man. I'm tempted to play e4. I know this is kind of a weird move, but his bishop is in a weird place. I'll be in the north. Where is Mount Etna? Okay. Well, obviously I've heard of Mount Etna, but I didn't know exactly where it was. Jababa's not banned. What did he do now? It's hard not to like that guy, even though he's like a psychopath. Alright. Has he been canceled yet? Oh. Well, I didn't know Yababa actually streams at a regular time or something. I would assume he's off playing tournaments and stuff. I mean, a lot of strong players who were streaming during the pandemic have kind of given it up. Now that regular chess is back again, I pretty much assumed Yababa would be one of those. But I don't follow him. Casual Rapid. From this from the sanitarium. That's what Vijak's saying. He gets free time. Did you hear that, Asterbate? The psychologist let Jababa out of the psych ward once a week to do chess streaming. My turn again? It's always my turn. What the hell's going on around here? It's constantly my turn. I can't wait. The World Senior is going to be fun. It's a great place to meet chicks. Speaking of not enough women in chess. Not enough women in chess, and they're all over 60 and stuff. It's a good time. I feel like I'm going to a bingo cruise or something. It's ridiculous. It's weird being the youngest person at the World Senior. Dude, it's terrible. Last time was terrible. I just want to know when bingo night is. Once when I was in the Canary Islands, I told the story. I literally never went to bingo night in my life. American churches do it and stuff for old people. But when I was in the Canary Islands, I think I went with Juan Mayado to this bingo thing. It was funny. They had a bingo parlor. Oh my god, you're gonna take my A pawn. I can't believe I took it. That was weird though. I had never been literally to a bingo parlor. But it was all kinds of people. It wasn't just old people there in Spain. It was more general. In America, it's only old people. That play bingo. The blue hairs. as Acerbate says. Popular in Vegas, I'm sure. Right, Acerbate? Every church has like a gambling... Every church in Vegas must have like a gambling bingo night. How did we get talking about this again? Oh, I'm going to the World Senior with a lot of old people. They have like they have some blitz tournaments. I didn't play last year. Social activities are extremely limited. I'm not like looking forward to being in the seniors chess cruise or something like that. I'm not ready to be a senior, you know. It's just party on Garth. I refuse to act my age. Wonder about C5. You're such a dominant pawn amoeba. Crushing people from the other side of the board. The good thing is, like, playing from your opponent's perspective, you can see how bad your position is, objectively. I like seeing how bad my opponent's positions are and being objective about it. I mean, here maybe I'm still not being objective. Maybe Mule Skinner's not that bad. D5 is an interesting move. Wow. I have to say I don't really like D5. I don't like that. That's bad news. D5 is a nice move. I think. I don't really want to shatter my whole pawn structure here with white. So what am I supposed to do? Man. Wow, committal. Panic button.
No, no, no!
Can you hit the panic button, please? I literally played this out of panic. We just don't have enough time. Oh my god, out of the blue, where did that come from? Bishop F5 was played. What are you doing over there? Connect 4. Play me connect 4. Is this clogged enough for you? Does your head hurt? Uh-oh. Space race. Can you stop that, please? It's reminding me a lot of my game with Mule Skinner, actually. Why? Really, is it my fault? Is it my fault that this happens every game? I feel like I'm a pretzel or something. Every single game, it's like I'm tortured, and it's a stonewall Dutch. You're so used to 7 plus 5. Oh, why did you challenge me to 7 plus 3? Did I write that? Why did you challenge me to 7 plus 3? You're the one who challenged me to 7 plus 3, not me. I didn't realize why it was going so fast. I thought it's just my perception. We didn't play Big Bobby yet? Schumacher. Come on, weird openings. Let's do the Kraken. Uber driver, how did you find the Kraken tournament? How did you like our Kraken tournament? Mule Skidder, you missed the Kraken yesterday? Guys, please donate. We're closing in on our World Senior donations goal. Be the one. Be the one who takes us to the goal. Damn, dude, you're still on Big Bobby? You think, like, Uber driver would get over it at some point. It's unbelievable. He just will never get over that Big Bobby thing. And Fred. When are you going to let it go, man? And embrace something new? Bobby's dead. Fred is dead. Alright. Who's Bobby? Yeah, good question. I don't know. Bobby wouldn't know the chess today. Wouldn't know. I can't handle it anymore, though. I can't handle, like, another game with freaking pretzels and being tied in knots and the whole position locked with F5. You're progressing backwards. You've been playing Kappa's games backwards. Well, that's a weird coincidence. Well, this is one way to avoid, like, Schumacher playing the Mikhagadov King's Indian, dude. I'm just not gonna play. You know, I'll just trade on d4 early, and you really have no reason to play h3. Now I'm trying to move twice in a row. Come on, Schumacher, hurry up. I wanted to play the Kraken, but you ruined it and played d4. d4, c4. You know, I've been playing a lot of games with e5, but I know you'll just, like, push past. But you didn't actually this time. But normally you do, right? Well, that's after knight f6, I guess. I'm surprised you didn't push past this time. Gold medal at Olympiad. That's when Cuba was not a communist dictatorship, right? It's my turn again. I just don't notice when the clock moves. You didn't do, like, h3 at some point, did you? My last tournament game in this line was against Sam Shankland. It was like 2010 or something. Because that was a nightmare. No, maybe not. Maybe I lost twice with that variation. Now I don't remember. I lost against Shankland and I lost the same game twice. That's kind of weird. How did I manage to do that? Like, I lost to Kovac Gabor and Shankland, like, the exact same way. in this line. Actually, I don't remember how the Shenklin game went. I did something really bad against him. Against Kovac Gabor, I played this. And I just, like, didn't know the position well enough. But Schumacher playing the Orthodox King's Indian. How? He playing the Orthodox King's Indian, not the Makaganov. This variation is not that great for black. But I'm really not interested in closed positions. I've had enough. How do you guys feel? When you lose a game in a variation, do you study like crazy on that variation? No, I'm a coward and I like stop playing it and blame the variation for losing. Usually, I'll blame the variation and stop playing it and play something else, which is a really bad thing to do. Unless it's a particularly bad variation. This one is like an example of kind of like a combination of both. It's not a very good variation for black, so you can kind of blame the variation, but it's still not why I lost, so I should have studied it more. But I've done that with a lot of things. My worst is the C3 Sicilian. Every time I lose with black in the C3 Sicilian, I should probably study like crazy till I understand what I did wrong, but instead I just like would keep like switching variations that I would play almost randomly. Can I play F5 here? Perhaps that's the wrong word to use. Should I play F5? But it's interesting looking at it from white's perspective, because I play the white side of this. I would never play knight b3. F5 is interesting, but it's also not the only move. A5 is possible. Forward chess. Shit. Yeah, am I in trouble? With that, maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I should have played F5. I should have played F5. Now we just have to make the best out of it. Yeah, I'm supposed to play F5 there. Are you Aster mate? Dude, what year was Capablanca Alekhine World Championship? Was that 1939? No, it was like earlier. Terrible with like dates. 27. Yeah. 39 was like before Alekhine died. I don't know. Alekhine died after the war, but still, he was late in his career. Although he wasn't that old. So Kappa 1927, okay. Man, dude, your turn. Hello? You have to play G4. I had to play F5 to stop G4, and you had to play G4, because I didn't play F5, and then you did knight D4. So all that's happened here is I played A5. Which probably hurts me in some sense. You hurt me. I'm thinking that a5 just makes my position worse by weakening the b5 square. It was a huge mistake. I totally forgot that, he's starting to play g4. In 1936, who was his competition? Salo Floor, Alekhine, but Alekhine wouldn't give him a, how was it? Botvinnik was just starting out, dude. Botvinnik was very young in 1936. Come on, he wasn't a factor yet. I'm just saying, I think there wasn't a clear threat there. I know that, Uber driver, but I mean, Uwe. Even if Uwe won the world championship against Alekhine, I don't think he was ever the best player in the world. He played pretty well in his match with Alekhine. Whether there's truth to the fact that Alekhine was drinking a lot, the main point is that he underestimated Uwe. But still, I don't think that Uwe is a threat to Capablanca in his prime. So, who was the second best player in the world in 1927? Alekhine. But who else was there then that was really top? I'm terrible with dates and stuff. Names and dates. I mean, I never really liked Bogalyubov. No, Asterbate, Botvinnik was too young. Botvinnik's only in the late 30s. Starting in the late 30s. Thinking who else was really strong. F5. In the longer term, A5 isn't such a bad move for black. But I think it was inappropriate when I played it. Lasker was drooling on himself? No. I don't think Lasker was ever drooling on himself. He was playing bingo and studying, talking math with Einstein and shit, man. Yeah, Curious is a good... Curious was getting strong. Floor was very strong, I think you're underestimating Floor, Reshevsky. In the late 30s, and the Soviets were starting to get good. Well, it depends on what we're talking about. Take, take, take. Where do I put my king? I wanted to put my king on e5, but I don't think that's going to fly. I don't think it's going to fly. We're going to have to go back to g7, I'm afraid, if you go into the endgame. No, I mean, that's when the Russians really started getting good. In the mid-30s. Lilienthal was very strong. He was young. In the late 30s. He was almost 100 when he died. Like 15 years ago, or 12 years ago, or whenever. Somewhere I have a photo of Lilienthal with Big Bobby in Belgrade, I think. I always wished that, I regretted I never met Lilienthal. I never really heard anyone speak to his personality personally about him, but it was an opportunity. I could have met Lilienthal, you know. He was here in Budapest till he died, I guess. He had a Russian wife. I'm not sure if he ever had more than one wife or whatever, but that's why he lived in Russia for a long time. Though later he came back and settled in Budapest. I'm just thinking of players from the late 30s. Are you threatening me? A4, knight A4, nah. So how do I make progress here? Progress. Progressive. Well, A4, man. If you allow A4, you're going to get screwed on the queen side. So your knight is like frozenated. You touch that knight, you die. Unless you put it on A4. That's what I was going to say, like literally. Well, you could put it on A4. Famous last words. I can sack a piece, multi-pawns. For 1, 2, up to 2 pawns. I can sacrifice for up to 2 pawns. Unfortunately, his rook is far away from the action, but not his king. Uh-oh. I guess I should have seen that move last turn. Better late than never, as they say. He's got counterplay again. Speaking of A4. I had won a pawn and it's gone now. What? Wow. Tricky. Is that a good idea? Like A8, triple exclam. That's too funny, man. That's Emery Tate's favorite move. Alright. Was I losing? Was I losing at any point here? Was I ever worse this whole game? Well, probably the opening. I think A5 was bad. Wow, knight B3 was played once. Holy shit. A5 is the best move. Wow, Uber Driver. I thought Uber Driver was onto something with G4. Holy shit. I thought A5 was a mistake and I had to play F5. But maybe A5, let's see. But what's the problem with F5? No problem. He can play C5, obviously. Okay, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, like, this is an idea in some positions. Doesn't look particularly effective. But after A5, can't White play G4? I looked at this. I would have done this, but I mis-evaluated this. I thought that White was okay here. Damn. He's actually worse. So after A5, knight D4, knight F4 is a mistake because of this square. So that's what I was saying. So what am I supposed to do? Now I have to play something else. Knight takes D4, bishop takes D4, bishop E5. This sits on B5. It's an alien face hugger on B5. Usually they're on like B5. This is standard face hugger square. Usually I have a knight on A6 that prevents me from playing A6, but here I have a knight on C6 prevents me from playing C6, and I have no A6 because the pawn's on A5. So this is a classic King's Indian like problem where you can never get the knight off of B5. Get off me! No. Alright. Asterbate, hey, sorry, I was off. What did you do yesterday, Asterbate? Did you insult our beloved Mr. Slow somehow? Okay, Bafinic, Capablanca, Uva, Ruben Fine, Reshevsky, Alyakhin, Floor, Lasker was getting old, Vidmar, BC Bogiubov was like 10th, Tartakover, blah blah blah. Oh, I thought you were gonna do like chess metrics or whatever, Asterbate. That's not a list. Maybe that's the pairing list or something. I don't know, how is it sorted? Like, how is it sorted? How are they seated there? Not again, 1936. That was the final standings. Bafinic won it? I can't remember. Bafinic won it. I guess that was his first great tournament. That's pretty much, the top 8 are pretty much like the best players in the world. The finest kind of borderline. Fine is underrated. Yeah, actually, I should do a series on Ruben Fine because he's been one of those like forgotten chess players. His problem was that he wasn't a professional player, and I think he didn't play that much, and later like really was seriously not involved in chess competitively. F5, there it is. You heard it here, folks. here first, folks. F5. Well, Alexian refused to give a match to anybody. So you only play Capablanca in tournaments? Oh, you also refused to play in tournaments where Capablanca was playing, right? He would avoid he would insist that the organizers not invite Capablanca. I don't remember which tournament. Modern reversed. Radio broadcast? You had to erase all off the table. That's sweet. What are you talking about? Guys, let's donate to Sicily. Modern defense. Yummy. So Stensig plays the modern. But watch that your Kraken doesn't get harpooned by e5, e4, e3. Krakenator. How playable is c4? Probably is. Something different. Uber Driver, you should study to get your master's in chess history at the Moscow Polytechnic Institute. Well, nowadays you probably have to take a course in patriotism. Doctor Uber Driver. A3 is just not a really very useful move for me, I guess, here. Yeah, c6 makes sense. c6 is logical. Against this, because I played a3, I think that's quite okay. I can play what? Like a Gurgenidze, Caro-Kann, a tempo down? Look, Ma. It's the Gurgenidze. We have another challenge. Only play at the last minute. I like just playing from the other side, man. It's really different and interesting and fun. It feels like I'm spying on my opponent. You know, it's unbelievable. It almost feels like cheating, you know? It's so useful. But it does hurt my offensive play. And I can't calculate tactics as well. So here... I would imagine bishop g5. Although knight c3 is also reasonable. I mean, Botvinnik played like for who was a player who was essentially like a very strategic player. He played aggressive openings with black. The Sicilian, French, okay, French not so aggressive, but Queen A5 check. Wow. That's principled. So if Queen D2, sorry, oops. Queen D2, Knight D2 or King D2? King D2 is interesting. King D2 is kind of interesting. Then Knight C6. And I have a problem with Knight A5. Bishop D2 feels wrong. Knight C3 is the most natural move. But again, even Bishop D2 is okay. I don't know. Queen A5 check. I think we can eliminate B4. B4 I could force the exchange of bad bishop with Bishop D2. No. Queen A5 check, Knight C3. This feels like the most principled move. It's completely... Let's just put it this way. It's a little hard to justify the queen on A5. I mean, objectively. He gets out of the pin, but his position is kind of artificial. I mean, if we're being perfectly honest here. Especially if he has to play like knight on BD7. I don't know if he wants to do that. The Dutch, right. Well, Dutch, but he didn't play the Dutch that much. I mean, Botvinnik's main repertoire was the more solid stuff, like the Nimzo, I guess. But he did play the Dutch, I guess, a fair amount. It would be interesting to look at statistics. I guess he did play the Dutch quite a bit. But it wasn't like he played the Dutch constantly. Yeah. The Magnus of his day. Woke Botvinnik. We have time for one more game after this. Max. Tomorrow night is subscriber stream. Let's get some donations flowing. We need a little bit more donation to get us up the last 5%. Who's gonna do it? We gotta make it by next week. You can overshoot the donation bar. That's always a good thing. Alright, now the proverbial question. My Kraken turned into a hyper-accelerated dragon in reverse. Knight h3. Speaking of face huggers. Knight h3, knight g4 is kind of awkward. But I somehow doubt that's a good move. There's also the more traditional e3. We have to get our knight in the game. There's even f3 for white. But that can be played whenever. I'm just saying, like, this is... There's no way that's a good move. Okay, I would just play f3. No, knight g4 is out. Why would he play that move anyway? That's a stupid suggestion by me. I'm just saying it's hard to justify black's queen on a5, which is out of play, you know, in a sense. As I say, queen a5 is always bad. 99% of tactics don't work. If it looks bad, don't look. Very timid looking bishop e7. Timidity. How is the timidity today? Hello? Usually Stenstag is hard to, like, pin down. Did I miss b4? Oh no. I may be threatening b4 now. Not clear though. b4 queen d8 and I can't take on d5. It's kind of funny. Okay, so even if he castles, I'm still not threatening to win the d5 pawn yet. But b4 queen b3 could be something. In fact, like, queen b3 looks problematic for black. Do you have a problematic with me? Okay, there's like French motifs, right? Queen b3, castles, no. Yeah, I don't see a defense for black. But I'm sure Stenstag will come up with something. Something creative. Kraken reversed. This will make a great YouTube video. I'll just threaten you guys with, like, YouTube videos. If you play badly against me, I'll make a video out of the game. Bishop d7 on board. Oh, by the way, like, I'm playing in the Hungarian Team Championship, second division on Sunday. It could be. There's a chance it's a matchup of past and future world senior champions. The most exciting prospective matchup is Sladgie versus Ochotnik. Future and past world senior champions battling it out. If it's me versus Ochotnik, you know, it's going to be a fighting game because he doesn't like draws. Even if I'm white and the higher rated player, he probably wouldn't accept a draw. I have knight b4 here. There's also knight f4. Watch for tactics. I don't know about this. He has bishop g5, g5. This wasn't really a safe move to play, but I've got knight g6, knight e5. It's okay. All right. Dirty pool, old man, as they say in the Adams family. Everyone saw bishop a5 except for you. Limbiddle played bishop a5 shortly before he jumped or was pushed. Oh, I could have won a piece. That's good. It looks like Senseiga is kind of like having a meltdown. Don't go Jababa on us, okay? Bishop c4 check just wins. He got totally overextended. Gor Yogesh versus Mohsen Sharbov. It sounds like white is like a Lovecraft monster or something. Gor Yogesh versus Cthulhu. Oh shit, this is what the guy played too. c4. I thought c4 was sketchy. It's actually the best move. Damn. See, like normally I wouldn't do that in a reversed See, Robert Eames played like b4. It's playable, but it's not as good. You know, I think you're asking for a5 here. c4 puts more pressure on the center. He could take, obviously. What about taking? I thought this is a solid way to play. Check, bishop d7. I think I would have expected bishop d7, queen takes c4. I was looking at this, but then I have e6. So you can't do that. You have to play knight c6. It's like a standard reverse modern, except I've played except I've played the move a3, which isn't exactly a3 isn't really that useful offensively speaking. But as Zubdriver points out, it does. It stops certain incursions into b4. So let's see what Yogesh Cthulhu did. Yogesh did bishop g5, but my move's better. Now bishop g5, wow. But d4 is bad? Really? Wow, computer doesn't like it. This is like a straight up reversed sort of thing. Yeah, queen a5 was bad. It's always bad. But even queen d2 is better for white. I'm surprised by that. No, it's not. Okay. No, it's not. So you see, I thought forever here, and I had to play knight c3. It was my only good move. That's very interesting. Why am I white every game? Cthulhu. In the house, the Cthulhu. Weird openings in reverse. But you got to be careful when you play those kind of, space positions. Snedsteg. Dynamic chess strategy. Mihai Suba. Yeah, g6 is strong. We've been through this already. Fine. Be that way. Yeah, it's good at least that I didn't do something cowardly like queen d2. It took me like a full minute, but I realized like white has to play knight c3. The modern in reverse. I mean, the good thing about the Kraken, or reverse Kraken as I call it, we can always, like, transpose to a King's Indian or Pierce. The elephant attack. At least it's not like a locked Dutch. Ruben's fine. I wonder if Petrosian was good at blitz. You'd think like players who don't have to calculate would be good at blitz. They have a simple, straightforward style that's very positional, and they don't have to use that much time on the clock. I don't really like the English with A3. I'll just say that openly. A3 is kind of a waste of time here. What's up, Mr. Coffee? But I guess A3 is going to be a waste in almost every position. It's just basically a pass. It's a waste of my first move, basically. So in a sense, like, it's almost like black is better. He's not better, though. I mean, A3 isn't negative. I guess it's equal. Now we could transpose to a mainline English. Now A3 is actually played. Well, at least in the line with knight c6, rook b1. This is mainline. I lost this with white once against Dennis. The Mexican I am. Dennis Verduga. I lost a horrible game. I don't remember how it went now. It was the main line of this. I tried to play this for black for a little while. That's not right, master. That's not right. That's crazy, wow. I don't know where to start. Bishop g5 is interesting. Whoa. Bishop g5, pawn takes pawn. I mean, I don't know. Do I win a pawn here? Oh, I had a funny trick. What was it? Knight d5, queen d5. Knight d5, queen d5. No. Knight e5, knight c3. Knight e5, knight c3, knight c6. Knight e5, knight c3, knight c6, knight d1. Knight d8. That should be okay for me, but I don't know if it's my best. If it's not, though, like, what else is? You know, I also have, like, bishop g5, actually. Bishop g5 sort of tricks. Wow, that'd be crazy if that worked. Like, bishop g5, f6, and then some sort of crazy knight takes e5. That'd be really nutty if that worked. I want to check after the game. I'm curious about bishop g5 here. We can play it. I mean, what's wrong with it? Nothing. I don't have to launch into some crazy tactics. What would Nepomniachtchi do? Maybe it just doesn't do anything for me, you know. So the question is f6 a good move or a bad move? Is it a constructive move? Or does it weaken black's position? I mean, maybe black doesn't really have a choice, too. I mean, I guess you could always do knight takes c3. Computers love that. There's not enough time to calculate in this time control, you know? Yeah, I mean, I imagine that players like Petrosian would be really brutal in blitz because if you don't have to calculate very much because of the nature of the positions that you play, you have a kind of built-in advantage. You can just play quickly on fundamental principles and not have to worry about calculation much. The Feigl, like Feigl never played blitz, but you know, I imagine he would have been decent because he just was like a kind of Petrosian clone. In America, we have Fischer clones. In the former Soviet Union, they had like Petrosian clones. Cloned, Uber driver clone. Well, it's weird. I mean, for Spassky to say Petra was a superb tactician, I mean, maybe he was, but we would never really know. I mean, he rarely played games where there were a lot of tactics. You would think like he wouldn't be necessarily that good tactically. Perhaps he was quite good tactically, he just didn't really apply himself. Now Korchnoi, wow, bishop f6 is a really weird move. Knight takes d5, bishop takes g5, knight takes g5, queen takes g5, knight takes c7. I know I'm just winning a pawn here. I guess I play better when I see the other side of the board. And I know how bad my opponent's position really is. Again, it's... maybe he has some kind of compensation here. So there's a question of knight takes c7 first, or knight takes g5. Knight c7, queen c7, knight takes g5. His queen isn't overly useful or active on c7. On the other hand, knight g5, queen g5, knight c7, rook b8. His queen is more active on g5 than on c7. So knight g5, queen g5, knight c7, rook b8, I'm moving. Knight c7, queen c7, knight g5, and it's black's move. It's a tough call, but how about those Patriots, Uber driver? How are the happy fans calling Ubers out of Foxwoods? Jesus Christ, man. What happened? Did Robert Kraft like blow all his money on like massages or something? I don't understand these Boston sports teams, man, like the Red Sox and the Patriots. They win like multiple Super Bowls and they don't build an empire, you know, like they just blow it. They knew they had problems with Mac, you know, Mac attack. Mac Jones. Why didn't they get a freaking quarterback, in the last 2 years? If this guy sucks, And they have nothing. Plus the guy has issues. Too. He's a dirty player. Did you see the shit he's done? He does like nasty, dirty hits on players and stuff, and he's just hated in the league. It's weird for a quarterback to be like a dirty player. I was reading an article, like he's had multiple issues. Besides the fact that he's just not very good. And then you have a backup quarterback that sucks too. They make Garoppolo look good. Garoppolo, Garoppolo, that's funny. He has like a really good record in the NFL. And the moronic, Joe Buck was calling some game saying that Garoppolo really has this, tremendous record and everything. But actually he just sucks too. Garoppolo's just been lucky because his team is always good. I don't know. After Brady, they don't have a quarterback. They need to get a quarterback. Draft a quarterback, good one. Yesterday. Pay some money. Dude, why don't they get Colin Kaepernick or something? Jesus Christ. I'm serious. Did Colin Kaepernick sign with someone? He offered to be like the Jets. Did you see that? He offered to be like a training quarterback for the Jets with Aaron Rodgers down. It's crazy, man. I got distracted by football. I'm serious, man. What's up? Is Colin Kaepernick too old now to quarterback at an NFL level? Is that the problem? It's not this woke stuff, is it? We're not still on that, are we? You got to get a quarterback, man. I understand that Mac Jones is young, but he seems like he's a problem. They're going to blame it on Belichick. You give the guy nothing to work with, what's he supposed to do? Bishop there. That's a good move. That's a good move you got there, sir. Thought I would confuse the issue here with 94. But I'm only confusing myself. This is a good move. Damn. Once in a while I find a good move. How good it is remains to be seen, but I think it's not a bad move. Little NFL chat. I gotta go, guys, after this game. I mean, the fact is that Mac Jones isn't very good, and he's a problem on the field as well with his behavior. So I think you get rid of him. I mean, behavior in play with weird stuff. Quarterbacks shouldn't be putting dirty hits on people, You're just asking to get smacked. Nine seconds left. Queen h5. Queen h6. I know, Queen f5. Queen f5. Chess in reverse. He maybe had to. My white has 2 pieces hanging. This is a funny position. Wow. That's a cool move. Oh, I hoped I had something better there. Hoped chess. Am I checkmated yet? Jesus. Uh-oh. Oops, I lost a pawn. I think he had to play bishop b7 check there. So I'm not sure that I'm winning here. Oh, I get it. That's your plan. Mr. Clofefe. Yeah, that was a fun game. Wow. That was a weird position we got into. It's like, I don't know if I'm better or worse, but I wanted to see this. This is crazy, dude. You can't play d5 here. I can't believe it. It's popular with 2200s. Jesus Christ. Don't play it against like Mihai Marin's wife or whatever, dude. They're probably close friends with Mihai Suba. Arkady Rothstein, that's an old game. Hope you do another Kraken. You have all kinds of ideas about G3. What do you mean I do another Kraken? You mean video tournament? What do you mean? It's crazy to play d5 with tempo down. But I was wondering about bishop g5, first of all. It's only equal after d takes c4. Yeah, my rook is misplaced here. Okay. So I have to take, and then, yeah, two people went for knight takes e5, which is my default move. The computer is strangely suggesting the possibility of queen c2, which I have no idea what that does. It's just a move. But I mean, you realize you're allowing this. I have no idea. So knight takes c3. Yeah, this is what I figured. Check. Queen takes. B takes c6. I mean, my structure is not that great either, so it's not surprising that some random 2200 got a draw with black against Arkady Rothstein. Was he an Israeli grandmaster? There was this weird guy who played me in Harvard Square a million years ago who I suspected was like a undercover Israeli grandmaster. I always wonder if it was him. Okay. I'm thinking of someone else. But anyway, d5 take here. So bishop g5 isn't clear. I expected f6. See, I was wondering if I have this move. That doesn't work. That's a stupid suggestion. But I do have this now. Let's see, queen takes. Still, you have the normal shift over here to like b5 in a lot of variations. This isn't that clear, you know. And bishop d2 is nothing special. So you should play f6, I think. I really don't see a reason to reject this. If my best move is seriously knight d5, queen d5, bishop e3, or bishop d2, you're okay, you know. I think you have to play it. Queen b3, okay. No, that's an interesting suggestion. I missed it. If I had had the board turned around, I probably would have seen it, but because I was playing from black's perspective, I forgot to think about queen b3. Yeah, this is an interesting suggestion. But I can't Can I take on b7? Is my queen getting trapped? It's like a Gioco Piano thing. I'm in trouble after queen d7. Wow, this is a funny variation. I can't get out. I'm stuck and I can't get out. What's up with queen b5? Queen b5, knight c3. Queen b5, you'd have to calculate a lot here. Rook a b8. Queen c5, my god. My bishop's hanging. Can you believe this? Like pawn takes g5, knight takes g5, and white is better. I'm down a piece and I'm better. That's unbelievable. Rook b1, rook b1. Check this out. Rook b1, rook b1, knight d8. White is down a piece and better. That's insane. That's insane. Wow. 96, queen a5. And Stockfish gives white, you know, the slight edge with the 3 pawns for the piece. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I can understand being concerned about queen b3. Alternatives exist too. Like you could play queen d7 or queen d6. I thought about queen d6. I don't think like knight b5 is anything. But this might be a good move. You know, so I think queen d7 is better than queen d6. So bishop f6 is kind of weird. Yeah, so I have this. And then, but the fun part is what happens next. I should be winning here, but I lost my concentration. And knight c3 was weak, but I didn't know what to do. Then we got this great position where you played bishop g4. And I found the best move. And this is where things are just unbelievably complicated. So you thought forever and you had to take. Yeah, I'm threatening queen takes g4. You had to take, I have to take, and then I have no idea what's happening here. I thought I would like trap your knight, and there's no way to trap it. It's so strange. I thought this was bad. I didn't want to play this. But I could have gotten 2 pieces for the rook, which I did see, but I was unsure about how to evaluate this kind of thing. You know, so that's why I played this. It's safer. And you're still slightly worse. Man. And then it's like, I'm almost mated. And then it's a draw. You're actually a tiny bit better now. I thought you would play rook c8 and play for a win here. If you want to win, I mean, this is not insane to play rook c8 and try to win for black. I think it's justified, but this is also fine. This should be a draw. Here, f4. And then it was funny. It looked like you're winning, but I have b4. So this is a draw, but you need to play bishop b5 check. Keep my king. I don't think you want to let my king get to d4. Yeah, it's like that's where you lost the game. Letting my king come to e4. This is a very interesting ending. I mean, it might be like lose game, you know. If you let me in, and you did. Now it's like lost. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Interesting game. Tomorrow night is subscriber stream. Don't forget to donate. Support the trip to the World Senior. Thursday, subscriber stream. Friday, Rapid Blitz challenges. Saturday, off. Sunday, possibly World Senior battle with Ochotnik at the Hungarian Chess Federation. And World Senior warm-up battle, if Ochotnik plays board 2. I'm playing board 2 on my team. Anyway, guys, it's not guaranteed. They could bring their number one player, and I could play Varga Pedi. In which case, we'd probably make a draw. But anyway, I'm going to play one warm-up game this Sunday for the World Senior warm-up for my Hungarian team. Anyway, we'll have a simul on Sunday night as well. 2 weeks of going to the World Senior. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to donate, support the stream, support my efforts to go to the World Senior in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. We'll see y'all later.